In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to install fender flares on your 5th gen Ram. So this could probably apply to your 2500 truck, your Ram 3500, maybe even your 1500. But I wanted to show you guys this video because this was originally a tradesman truck, Ram 3500, and we have been slowly converting it into a full-on highest trim level you can imagine. If you guys haven't seen those videos, check them out, and also give your boy a subscribe while you got a minute. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and I will continue to update you guys on the truck and how you can customize your Ram truck. So yes, I'm wearing a party hat on right now, but it is really hot, really sunny here, and we're gonna get right into it. So the front fenders, I'm gonna quickly explain to you guys. On the 5th generation Ram trucks, on the front and the rear, they actually made holes in the actual fender that have clips on them to adhere them. On the front of the truck, I actually ended up finding front fenders that already had the flares on it, so that was just a bolt-on affair. I have a video on that. There really wasn't a whole lot to that. I will tell you guys though, these little pieces here, you guys can call them, you know, mud flaps. They're called spats for some strange reason. You know, the little flare trim piece that goes here between the fender flare trucks and the non-fender flare trucks, it's a different plastic piece that trims right here that kind of keeps, you know, a little bit of debris from flicking up. It doesn't do the greatest job, but that piece is there to try to prevent rock chips and things from flying around. But on the rear of this thing, I am not about to drill holes in my bed. Here is how it looks, and I've got the fender flares down on the ground here. So on the 4th gen trucks, all they did was use the bolts or screws that hold the fender liners in, and then they had double-sided tape around the perimeter. That is the method that I'm going with, but these are 5th gen flares. So I've had them color matched. I bought these off eBay. You can see here, this is where the clips would go to actually hold them to the body if you want to go that route. I am not going to go that route. I'm going to put 3M double-sided tape right around the edge. That's how the 4th gen trucks were, and you can see here, we've got the holes all throughout there that's going to hold it on as well. So 3M double-sided tape there, and it looks like maybe even a previous owner did the same thing, because you can see there's an alignment post right there that somebody appears to have shaved off. And there's a few of them. There's another one right there, and then I think there's one more right here. And here's the spats that I was telling you about. So these are OEM parts. I'll link these all down in the description below for you guys, but this was what I was mentioning as far as needing some of these. So this, if I get the correct one here, this goes like this, and it's a different shape. So this goes up here, and where it ties into the fender flare or non-fender flare, it's different. Also, I do have the WeatherTech molded mud flaps, and I did have them on the front. I had to take it off. I got to get different WeatherTech mud flaps for this, because they actually make a different one that comes out further and fits molded into the other spat, because this spat essentially stops right there with the fender liner. I guess technically you might be able to, and we'll compare it, see if I can save you guys some money. When we take this off, you might be able to just cut this one there, and it might be the only difference, but they're not that expensive. But either way, I'll link the Mopar part number for you guys. Let's get to work. I'm gonna start unbolting all this, taking the spat off, taking all these screws out, and then we'll start getting this thing rigged up. All right, so we're gonna start by removing all of these 8mm screws around your fender liner. So back here, I'm going to remove my WeatherTech mud flap. So that is off and out of the way. Yours is just going to look something like this. So once you remove these screws, it's going to be mostly free. And then there is these speed clips that go into the body right here. So we're going to have to gently work this down, and we will pull these off of here. You could technically slide these off and then get access to it. At least that one, it'll slip out of that channel there. So there's that one there. You can see the yellow piece, and we're gonna have to work this one out as well. Okay, so there is this post here. You can actually get your hand in behind the body. So if you want, you can take your hand, reach it up, and actually squeeze the tabs, because they've got tabs that extend on the other side. So let me get up there and squeeze them, and I'll show you once I get out. Essentially it looks like that. You're trying to squeeze it from the backside to release it. So it's off now, and these are the clips. It comes with new ones if you buy a brand new one. So managed to get at least one of them off of there. Actually I got them all out, but you can see they get brittle. If you guys want to save yourself some money, it does look like, if you look at the shape here, take a picture of it if you need to, you could trim your original one, if you probably cut right across there, you would end up with pretty much exactly with what you need. But that's the difference. This one just comes up and goes up the body a little bit, whereas that one stops right there, essentially right at the bottom where the fender flare starts. So that's the difference. Like I said, if you want, you could probably save $1 by cutting it right off there. So let me go ahead, let's get the fender flare. I'm going to test fit it, and then we can get to some 3M double-sided tape on the back side of it. Okay, so I just test fitted it, and I only have, not even tight, 2 screws that I just put in by hand, and I honestly don't think you need double-sided tape. Like, this thing is held on there really well. I want to say that they improved just the way that they did this, because I don't know if I actually put all the screws in there, I don't think that we need double-sided tape. I'm probably going to put it just for some extra precaution, but even just with 2 screws in there, not even tight, and it is form fitted right up against the body. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, my truck's pretty shiny, it's almost like a mirror, you can see me here, but this is a nice tight gap all the way through. It's even got the little piece that goes into there, and I mean, everything is staying form fitted. So I don't know, I'll make a game time decision. This is the double-sided tape that I was planning on using here, but what I can do while I decide on that is click this guy into place and get this in there. So this is just gonna snap into place, and then it's gonna give us the trim piece that we needed. So we'll go ahead, this fits into the guided pieces, and then this will just click into place. So I'll give you guys my opinion. So we replaced this rear spat here. I do need, and you will need, to get some additional screws, because this spat takes 1 additional screw there. And also the fender flare here, there's an extra screw that you end up needing. It looks like I'm a little bit short, so I will say that you probably want to get some extra screws. This fits into here real nice. I'm not sure at this side. I'll have to investigate. Maybe by the time I end up posting this video, I'll have an answer, but I don't know if there's a spat here that kicks out more. It's not obscene, but it probably is not. I don't think there was, but again, once I edit this video, I'll double check. Now, as far as the double-sided tape or having this thing secured, I am going to put some from this body line down. The top is as tight as it possibly could be. It is not going to do anything funny up there. And then same thing on the back here. I'm going to put from this body line down, because this is the only bit of slop that we're getting is right from this body line down. Up here, like once you get up here, you're good. So in my opinion, I think we only need some from this body line down, and then this is all tight from this body line down to here, just to keep this in there. Or if you want to get crazy and drill the hole and put the actual clip in, you could do that too, I suppose. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it off and put some double-sided tape right here. I'll show you guys what I end up doing, and we'll see how it holds, how it looks. All right, so I started putting it up to that body line, which again, I think you could probably get away with, but I ended up ultimately going around the whole perimeter with that 3M tape that I will link down below for you guys. It's really not that much money, but figured I might as well do it. The other thing too is, even though it probably wouldn't, you guys know these Cummins, they're a beast of an engine, so I didn't want it potentially rattling against the body. I don't know that would even be a factor, but kind of just figured, you know what, I don't feel like taking this off again if it has a weird rattle when it's idling or something like that. So anyways, I left myself a little pull cord. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave this here, and then just flip it kind of like that. And so once we get the fender flare on and into place, then I'll pull this out with the fender where we need it. Don't pull this off and try to place it, because I promise you, you'll have a bad day. So just leave a little pull cord like that, start to peel it, leave it so you can grab it once it's on, and then we'll pull it once it's into place. I actually used this here, I just laid it on the tire and it worked out pretty well as far as holding it to get the double-sided tape on. So let me go ahead and get this on here, and I'll show you guys getting that thing on there. Okay, so here's our little pull cord. Got the screws in place, but loosely. What I'm gonna do is slide your fender flare up so that that lines up beautifully with your body line, because there is a little part of the fender flare that dips into the body line, so we'll push that up so that's nicely in place. And then I'm going to secure the screw down here, and then we'll go to the other side, make sure it's the same in the front, fully tucked into that body line. Okay, so see what I'm saying here? This kind of goes in and around the body line, so you're going to want to press it up as much as possible before we start tightening down our screws back here. So we'll press up, hold it in place, tighten the screws, and that'll hold it where we need it. Okay, so we've got all of our screws tight. Make sure you have all these tight before we pull our little 3M double-sided tape ripcord, because you want this to be fully sucked up, because as you tighten these, the fender flare rides higher. So I haven't pulled it yet, but now we can grab our little pull cord just like this, and we're gonna pull it like that. So we can get this out of here. We'll pull it up a certain length, and then look at this. Bam! That is so satisfying. So now she fits beautifully there, and we'll just keep going with this. We'll pull this all the way around, and this sucker is gonna be beautifully on here. Don't pull straight out this way, because you run the risk of pulling your double-sided tape out, and then you'll have a ugly situation. Pull it along the same line as it. Okay, there we go. That's all off. So we can press this in, and then this. There we go. Beautiful. And there we go, you guys. We've got an OEM fender with an OEM install without drilling any holes. Heck yeah. So let me clean up my mess, and then let's do the other side. Okay, so we just moved it forward so we had a bit more room and working in the shade here. The passenger side, same deal. Take off your mud flap if you got one, all of your 8mm screws around the perimeter, and then it will pop off this spat here. Like I said, I'm pretty confident that you could cut this if you want to save some money, and you probably wouldn't notice a whole lot of difference, but we'll go ahead, get that off, and get the new one on. Alright, so all the screws are out. WeatherTech is off. If somebody needs these WeatherTechs, I've got a kit for a dually, obviously. Front's the same as the 2500, a single wheel, but the rear is specific to dually, but I have the full kit if somebody wants them. And I've already modified the front ones to fit with 35s and clear with turning. So this piece has to come off. You will notice that this has a bolt there and a bolt there. And then when you end up putting this all together, there's 2 bolts that go in here. So your fender liner already has a provisioning for it, but see the extra bolt? So you end up using that extra hole that is not used with this. That's where the need for the extra screw comes. And then you'll also notice there's no screw here. The other Spat has a screw hole there too. So let me pop these out, squeeze those clips out of there. Kind of sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, old one is off. We'll go ahead and we'll grab the new one, click it in place. Hopefully not a ton of wind noise, but I am loving this breeze right now. I'll tell you that much, it feels great. It's been super hot out here lately. Okay, there you go. You hear all the nice clicks. That's in place, screw in the front. Technically 2 screws in the front, but we're too short. So on this side, I probably should point out, if it's not completely obvious, make sure your body is clean, especially when we're using double-sided tape. I just finished washing my truck. The bucket is literally right there, because you want that double-sided tape to be able to stick nicely. You don't want dirt on it. You don't want it peeling off afterwards. You just want a nice clean bond. So I'm not going to bother test fitting it. I already know we're good to go there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rig it up. We'll get the double-sided tape on there if I don't blow away in this wind, and then we'll be ready to go. Double-sided tape is all on, so we'll go ahead, do the same thing. We'll peel up one of the edges, give ourselves a little rip cord. I'm going to start from the back because that seemed to work pretty good last time. So let me peel this up, flip it over, hang it in place, and kind of get it situated. There's our pull cord. Flip this around and start getting some of the screws in. All right, so we got the screws. They're all loose though, so kind of getting things roughed into place. Do we like it? Same things before. We're gonna have to pick this up though, so we're definitely gonna want to make sure that. So there's that. Same thing with the back. We will pick this up so that that body line meets up with that before we screw this down. So let's go ahead, do that, hold this up, screw that down so that piece right there fits into the body line. Yeah, so we got this piece picked up through there. Same thing with this one in here. That all fits nice. So now we've got all of our screws tight, and we're gonna grab our little rip cord. Same thing as before. We'll pull this up, and I'm gonna pull it to here first, just past the body line, and get this to where I like it. So we got that in there. I don't want to get blown away first in this crazy wind. Now we'll continue with the ripcord. And again, pull it in the same line as your double-sided tape. Don't try to pull it the other way. Bam. So press that in like so. And that is it. We've got a non-vibrating, fully adhered factory fender flare, and it looks so much better. And just as a little bonus, I'll give you guys the part numbers for the front spats. I didn't label these or name these. If you guys see there, it says Spat on there. But I'm gonna go ahead and install these on the front because I haven't put them on yet. The front fenders, if you guys are adding these, it's gonna be the same procedure. So same thing, I would double side tape them all the way around, even though factory doesn't have anything, it looks like. But let's go ahead and get that tiny, there's like hardly any room through there with those 35s, look at that. That is as close as it gets, but let's get that little guy in there. All right, so there's that little spat, one little bolt there. Again, this is gonna take one extra bolt here because normally you would just have one bolt there and one up here, but there's two right here. And one more brand new spat for this side to fill that gap. So it just pops in there with the speed clips. 2 clicks, and then you put your screw in the front, screws into the fender liner. All right, that is a good looking truck if I may say so myself. So that's how everything looks with all the fender flares all tied in. Super nice. I've been driving for the last month without these rears on here because I got them painted and I kind of just wanted them to cure since I've got these massive tires on there. I didn't want a bunch of rock chips. That's one thing here. I might put some PPF right here because even when I got them painted, there was a ton of rock chips on that leading face. And I know some people are gonna say, hey, why can't you just put 4th gen ones on there? Yes, I actually looked into this. So as of the making of this video, nobody in the aftermarket makes those fender flares for the 5th gen. Could you put 4th gen ones on? Yes, you could, and I almost made, I guess I'm gonna call it a mistake, but the 4th gen ones are a different style. They don't have this hard edge here. They just swoop gradually into there. So there is such thing as a 5th gen style of flare and a 4th gen. If you look at the 4th gen, like I said, I think it has kind of a harder edge here and then it swoops gradually in there. It doesn't have this hard edge right there. So there's such thing as a 5th gen and 4th gen style flare. So as of the making of this video, like I said, I don't know of anybody that makes aftermarket ones, but you can install these like a 4th gen flare. Use the screws for the fender liner, use some double-sided tape, and it's going to be on there just as good as anything else. Same way all the 4th gen trucks had them for years. So anyways, I'll link everything that you need to get this job done down in the description below. If you guys want a sun hat like this, potentially, I've got Boosted Motorsports hats, sun hats, shirts, merch, everything on shopboosted.com. Check out all the links down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. And we'll see you on the next one. One last thing I'll show you guys. If you guys haven't seen this truck, again, it was a tradesman. A little bit dirty inside, but it is full limited interior, limited steering wheel, limited cluster, limited center console. This was originally a jump seat truck. We got limited seats, heated seats, cooled seats, everything. We're converting everything over. We're already halfway there. So if you guys want to see more on that, subscribe. See you guys in the next video.